I taught full-time seminary for 13 years, which means I taught thousands of students. And I'm wondering if you can guess what question I heard the very most through all those years. The question I heard was, how can I tell the difference between my own thoughts and revelation? Well, this is the perfect week to learn more about this. This week we study sections 6 through 9, and this is when Oliver Cowdery has now come to help Joseph with the translation. Oliver had been guided there. There was no doubt that he was supposed to go help Joseph. He had received that answer. However, Oliver is new to Revelation. And now the work is moving forward, and he's helping Joseph with the translation, and he's in this teeny farmhouse. And he's wondering, is this still the answer? And the Lord will take this opportunity to teach Oliver and Joseph and us about Revelation. The Lord will say things like, I'll tell you in your mind and in your heart. He'll tell him to study it out in your mind and then ask him. He'll say things like, I did enlighten your mind, or I spoke peace to your mind. So the Lord will be revealing these patterns that the Spirit uses to communicate with our spirits and to guide us and instruct us. And then the Lord will say this is the spirit of revelation. Behold, this is the spirit by which Moses brought the children of Israel through the Red Sea on dry ground. So how did Moses lead all those children of Israel with the army closing in behind him and decide, well, I'll part the Red Sea? That's a pretty amazing choice to make. It was revelation. The Lord told him to do it. And because Moses understood revelation and had so much experience with it, he recognized the answer when it came. So this week, as we dive into these chapters, I would take every opportunity to learn and to teach about Revelation. But one caution is not to determine, well, this is what the Lord is saying, so this is exactly how it happens. There are many patterns even within what he is sharing here. For example, when he says, I will tell you in your mind and in your heart, there's many ways he may do that. So this is my tip for this week, is to get this book. It's by Elder Bednar, and it's called The Spirit of Revelation. It's divided into 2 sections, and the first section teaches about principles of revelation, different patterns the Lord uses. And all these principles perfectly fall into what the Lord is saying in these sections. And then section 2 are several experiences that Elder Bednar and his family have had as they've experienced those principles of revelation in their own life, and he'll tell stories. You could read 1 chapter at night as a family. You could do 1 chapter a week and spread this out over many weeks. Or if you are a Deseret Bookshelf member and you have the app, Elder Bednar and his wife actually read this, and it's really fun to hear Elder Bednar and his wife tell these stories. So what's really effective about this is that our children can then start to recognize that there's many ways that the Spirit can speak to us, but they still fit these patterns that the Lord is speaking about. And if you remember the really old radios, the ones with 2 different knobs, so you generally tune in and then you would fine tune in. That's what revelation can be like in our lives, where we start to generally understand what revelation is, and then the more we act upon it and apply it and receive those answers, then we begin to fine tune to the point where we know, where we can stand at the edge of our own Red Seas, and the Lord could say, part these waters, and we know exactly what he's saying. So this week is the perfect week to arm ourselves and our families with these scriptures that can live in our minds and hearts. And in fact, I would have them memorize some of these scriptures. Section 8, verses 2 and 3, those are worth memorizing and having a part of them at all times.